Hello guys, welcome to a new episode. So in this new episode, this is where we're going to build our product overview screen. And in this product overview screen, as you can see, we have this main product card here with this beautiful animation that filters through the last the most current last three products that we have added in our inventory. And that's going to be our new product. So we created a category that is going to be called a new product. So we call that from our database. So here we have our menu, which is this lazy column here with this category chip that we've created here. So here what happens actually here is that on load, we're going to have a list of our main product card, our category. Then here we have some popular products, some products that have been marked as popular that we read on this product overview screen. Then under that we have our discounted product that have been marked as discounted as well. So moving forward now, so what happens here actually is that once we click in on one of those product chip here, or category chip so to say, it's going to filter down and show us products that belongs to that category or that menu. So you see what it looks like here. So once we click this, it will give us all the products that are burgers and chicken nuggets as well. And you notice that the animation is paused. So we did this intentionally to pause the animation because it's so that we won't divide attention, because if you're looking for something here and the animation is still happening up here, that means it splits attention because it distracts the user. So that's why we pause the animation temporarily, so once the category is clicked. So then if we press the back button, it goes back to default, which shows our popular, discounted, and also our animation starts again. So now what we assume is that for the new product, these are the highlighted products. That's why we put the animation in order to grab their attention if that's what they are interested in. But in case they are looking for something else, like fries for instance, let's pause the animation and show them fries. So that's the intention here, and I hope that makes sense to you. So this is exactly what we're going to build on this episode 6 of this food series app, and now we will get back to business. Okay, so before we begin, there's something I noticed from our previous implementation. Like if we go to our admin panel here quickly, you see initial intention was that once we update any item or add new item, they should appear on top. But if you see, if we edit something here, let's say we make this $5.99, not $15.99, and update this product. It's the most recent updated product, but it still doesn't appear at the top of the list, which is not so good, and it's not a very good implementation in my opinion. So I missed out something here in our manage view product. We're supposed to add something here that we missed out on, which is to add the created at function in our product state, so that we'll be able to update the created at, which is our filter parameter, to make sure that the latest product, either updated or added new, is always at the top of our list. So here we're going to add another variable here that we'll call created at, and that's going to be a long, and this long we're going to use our clock. So we call clock, so it's going to be the Kotlin time .system.now .to epoch milliseconds, like this. Okay, so now it's going to ask us to opt in for that experimental time. Then let's cut that out and add that on. No, so let's add that here and remove that constructor. So like this. So that's fine now. So what we need to do now is to go down to our update product screen and map that. So we can also add that here in our create new product. So we call created at, we call our screen script.created at, like that. Then in our update product details as well, we can also add the ID and call our screen state.id see. Then here we can call our created at, and we call our screen states dot created at. So with that implementation, if we give our app a quick rerun, we're going to be able to see that we have that as the latest, because we're going to use this when we're filtering our new products, like you will see shortly in our product overview screen. Okay, so go back here, and let's update our app again, and let's make this now 699, not 60, like this. So if we update that now, you see, so now it comes at the top of our list. So that's the little updates that I wanted us to do before we move on to the agenda of the day. So because we've done that now, we can now close this down, close this for more space, then close all the tabs here like this. So close all this, close all this. So now to start with, we're going to add another domain here. So here we're going to add a product repository here in our domain. So that's going to be an interface that will call our product repository like this. So in our product repository, we're going to have functions. If you remember, we had our main card, which is going to hold our new products. So first of all, we'll create a function here that we'll call read new products like this, and it's not going to have any parameter, but it's going to return a flow because we want to collect the states. That's the success, the loading, and in case there is any error as well. So here we're going to call our request state, and we pass a list of products because we're going to collect the list of new products like this. Okay, so now we need to import that product class. So after that, we're going to have another function, which is to read our discounted product like this, discounted products, and that also doesn't have a parameter, and it's going to return a flow and of type request states, and it's going to return our list of products as well like this. So just to save us some time, I'll copy that and I will paste that here, and this will be popular products. This will be popular products like this. Okay, so the next one is to read the product by category, which is that filter once we click on our category chip. So I can also paste that here and modify that a little bit. So read products, this is going to be read products by category like this, and that's going to have a category, and that category is going to be of type string, and it's going to return our flow and also the list of products that belongs to that particular category. So these are the functions, the four major functions that we'll be needing to make our product overview screen possible. So let me commit that immediately because I've been missing out on this, and this is our products repository. Okay, so let's commit and push that. Yeah, ignore the warnings, I'll use them later, and also push. So that have been sent to our repo, which I'm going to share with you all in the description of this particular episode. So now the next thing is to go to our repo implementation and add our product repo implementation as well. So we'll call our product repo implementation as we've done before, and that's going to be a class. So in our product repo implementation, we're going to start fleshing out. It's going to inherit from the product repository, just like we've done with the others. And this product repository, say make product repository open. Sorry, I'm calling the wrong thing. Product repository, not category. So now it's going to force us to implement all those methods. So now all those functions, or method that way. So now we have all our functions here. So, and in this function, we're going to be mapping out all our product items, which is the ID, title, description, and all that, in order to fetch those details. So to make it easier for us, let's create a map up here. So our map is going to be a private function that we're going to call our document snapshots, like we did before, .to product, and that's going to return our product class like this. Then in our product class, we're going to return the product class as well. So the product class, and now we're going to map out all those parameters. So we'll specify all the remaining arguments. I think we've used this before, so let's just go and copy this somewhere else. I think in our admin repo, yes. So we just copy this. And paste that here instead of typing all that out again. I just want to make sure everything we need is here. Yeah, created a title, description, category, allergy, everything is here. Okay, so now that our map is ready, let's go down and flesh out our functions, which is, we'll start with our read new product. So in our read new product, we use a try. First of all, we're going to assign that to a channel flow to collect the flow from our channel. Then here we'll use our try catch button. Then in our catch, we're going to have our e.exception as usual. Then here we are going to call our send, and in our send we call our request states.error, and then we send a little error message that says error reading new products. In case we were not able to return anything, then e.message like this. So in the body of our try, we're going to send and call our request states.loading. So we assume at this point something is happening. So then we call our Firebase to access our database, the items in our database table. So firestore.collection, and we're querying our products collection at this point, products. Then we now assign the filter, which is where equal to new, and the new is true. So if the product is new, then we should return them. So then we want to set the limits to, let's set the limit to only 5 items. Then also we collect our snapshots and then collect latest, and in our collect latest, let's call this snapshots. And down here we're going to create a variable that will call our products for our mapping equal to snapshot.document like this. So dot map, and in our map we call our it.toProducts, and after that let's map, we mapped our titles to uppercase letter initially when we're adding the product, so we access that here as well. So copy title, and we'll assign that to it.title.uppercase, so that it will return the uppercase title, just like we did in our manage products, our admin product our admin repo implementation. So now that we've mapped all that, then we call our send, and now our request state is going to return success like this, and here we pass our product, our map product like this. So that's the function to read our new product. Okay, it's as simple as it gets. So now the next function is to read our discounted products. So in our discounted products, okay, let's do it sequentially the way it appeared here. So I think the popular came first, so let's do that. So I'll call this and put this here. So now in our repo implementation, we're going to do the same thing and cut this. We'll cut this, and it comes after. So let's implement that bit first, because that's the way it appeared. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with sequence. So let's do that. And here we're going to use a try catch again. So our catch e.exception, and here we're going to call our send again. So here we'll call our request state.error, and we pass a little error message again. So we can just copy this and paste it here. So this will be error reading popular products. So I need to import send. Okay, so we need to assign this to channel flow. That's why we're not able to access that send. So here, channel flow, in order for us to collect the channel flow. So now the error is gone. So the next thing is to do what we did before. So we can just copy this, actually copy this and paste it here. So now we have our popular here when it says popular, and popular is true. So now for our popular, we still leave the limit at 5. So we're going to collect just 5 of those products, and that's it. That's everything. They are almost the same across all of them. So we just copy this and paste here as well, so that we don't waste a lot of time here. So we need to assign this to channel flow like this. So here is going to say discounted like this. So here error reading discounted products like this. So we have similar thing for our category, but we'll have some better modification here. We'll paste that here and we assign this to channel flow as well. So now we're going to here, this is going to be category and this is going to be category like this, and here we want to get up to 10 products. So the limit is going to be 10, and after that here is going to be reading category products like this. So that's it, pretty much what we need here in our product repo implementation. So let's also commit that as we go, and this is product repository implementation like this. So let's commit and push that, commit and push anyways. Alright, so that's it. Our commit was successful. Then now the next thing we need to do is to create our view model in order to expose these functions to be accessible in our UI. So now we're going to go to our feature package. In our feature package, the product overview screen is part of our home package. So in our home package, where are you? Down here, we're going to add another package, which is going to be called our product overview. So we'll call that product overview like this. So in this product overview, we're going to create the product overview class. So in our product overview class, so here we'll call it product overview, that's going to be a long name, view model like this. So that's going to be our product overview view model. So in this product overview view model, we'll have I will now call our private var product repository like this, which inherits from our actual product repository interface. So now with that, and it's going to inherit from the view model class like this. Okay, so now before we forget, let's jump quickly to our let's jump quickly to our DI module. Then in our DI module, let's add our repository. So here is going to be of type product repository like this, and in here we'll call our product repository implementation like this. And also now that we have our view model, we can also add our view model here. So this is going to be product overview view model like this, and that should be fine with our DI right now. Okay, so we can close that down. Then let's flesh this out. So starting off, let's create a variable here that we'll call our new products, and in our new products we're going to call our product repository dot read new products like this, and then we use our stateIn, and here our scope is going to be sharing started dot when subscribe while subscribed. Then let's set that to like 5 seconds. And then this is going to be our view model scope. Then our view model scope, we have started. So, and after that, we have our initial value, which is going to be our request state dot loading, like this. So we have other variables like our popular products, still the same. Then here we call our read popular products, and also for our discounted, we have discounted products, and here we call our read our discounted products, like this. So for our category, we're going to create some private variables here because we only want to read the selected category, not all the categories. So here we'll call a private val, and we call that to expose the state, we say selected category. To collect the state, we say mutable state flow. Then we pass null here was going to be of type product category, like this. Okay, and that's going to be nullable as well. So now the public, we say val selected category is equal to the selected category dot state flow, like this. Okay, so now the next thing is let's add our category. So here we create a val that we call category products, like this, and this is going to be our selected category dot stateIn. Then here our scope is going to be our view model scope. Then started dot while subscribed, we'll pass our 5 seconds, so 5,000 milliseconds. Then our initial value here is going to be request state dot idle because we want it to be idle on load. Okay, so now after that, we create another function that we'll call our selected category, and we pass our category of type product category, like this. Then in that function, we call our private state dot value dot copy dot value. Then we assign that to our category up here. So then after that, let's clear the category on our back press. Okay, so on back press, we say function clear category, and that's going to be our selected category dot value, and we'll assign that to null. Okay, so these are the basic functions that we need in our product view model. So now that we've created that, it's time to flesh out our product overview screen. So, but before we do that, we need some items or widgets. So if you call it that, widgets, which is, let's go back and have a quick look. So if you have a look here, we have this main product card here that we need to design. Then our category chip, the product card we've already created that initially. So right now what we need to create is the main product card and the category chip. So we'll reuse this component that we already have. So that's what we need to do next. So let's create our main product card to start with. So our main product card, we might still need it somewhere else, I don't know yet, but let's add that to our component package. So here is going to be a file, and we call that main product card, like this. Let me copy that. So here is going to be our composable, then phone. Let me paste what I've first copied. So the main product card is going to have the title, the energy value, the price, then the image, which we're going to get from our Firebase database storage. So here, let's add the parameter title is of type string, and we'll have energy value of type string as well. And we have our price, which is string type, then image URL, which is also a string. Then we have our post state, and it's going to be a boolean. Then that's it. So here we're going to, first of all, we'll create a variable that we'll call our card height, so that we can just update that here if we need to. So let's set that to 220.dp, and down we have another variable we call the brown fraction, which is that brown section where the text will appear, brown fraction, like this. And that's, we set that initially to half, which is half of the screen, so there's 0.5f. Then our density, and we assign that to local density dot current dot density, like this. I think I've spelled density the wrong way. Yeah, so that's it. So the next thing is we are going to create some animation values, which is the sizes of our animation and the alpha state and the scale. Because let me see if I still have that implementation. So if you look, we want, once the intention, as I showed you earlier, is just this image is going to come out from behind this brown fraction or section. Then when it comes here, it bounces in and it kind of expands. So we're going to create that. So now let's call that our animation values, like this. So here we'll call our val, we call our image, the first is our image offset to offset x, like this, and we assign that to remember, and this is going to be animatable, and our initial value is going to be like -70f, because it's going to hide behind the brown section, so in the negative x. Okay, I imported the wrong animatable before, so that's okay now. So here we're going to, let's duplicate this 2 more times. So here, this one is going to be image alpha, and here is going to be 0.95, and here we have our image scale. So here the initial value is going to be 0.98. Okay, so nothing fancy. So here, after that, let's create our card, then we finish up with this whole animation stuff later. So here we're going to use a card, and our card is going to have some styling. So here we use our modifier, and our modifier dot fill max width, we want it to fill max more width of the parent, and here we call our height, and our height is going to be our card height. Then we have our shape, and our shape is going to be a rounded corner shape, and we'll set that to 12.dp. and we have elevation, we want our card to be slightly elevated, so we call our card default dot card elevation, and we pass that to like 8.dp, like this. So that's our card styling. So now we're going to use a box to style the remaining part, which is the brown and white section. Okay, so the entire box is going to be white, then we'll have that overlay of the brown section, so that we are now tuck the image between the white and the brown section, if you get what I mean. So now we'll call a box with constraint, this one, and in that box we'll use modifier to make it to fill the maximum size. So we call the modifier class dot fill max size, like this. So now in this body, we'll want to set a seam, so that we have, if we look at that item, we have a brown overlay here across. So that seam is between the end of this brown section and the mid section here over this, so that it will appear as if the brown flow into over the image and the white section. You see that in action when we launch our app. Okay, so let's create a variable for that before we continue. So variable, we call that to seam x, like this. So that seam x is going to be equal to our max width multiplied by our brown fraction, like this. So that's how we'll get our seam. Then let's create another variable that we'll call our seam width, and that will be like 26.dp. We'll tweak all that later in case it doesn't appear right. So then now let's create our base background, which is the white, which is going to fill the whole card. So let's call that base background, because so that you can track track what you're doing. So background, and that is the white section that fills the whole card. Okay, so that's descriptive enough. So now we're going to use a box, and in our box we have a modifier, and we'll assign that to modifier.fill. We want it to fill the maximum size of the parent, and then we set the background. We set that to color.white. So we need to import color. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Nothing fancy for the white section, just the box, and that's it. Oh, between the white section and the brown section, then we have our image. So here we have our image, which is going to be behind the brown section like this. Okay, so now we call our async image, and in our async image we have our model, and our model we call our image request state dot builder, and in our builder we pass our local platform context dot current like this. Then we pass our data. Our data is going to be our image URL, and then we call our crossfade, and we set that to true. Then we call our build lastly. So after that, let's not forget to add our content description, which is going to be our title product image like this. Okay, so after that, let's call our content scale and set our content scale to crop, or let's set that to fit. Okay, so now we have our modifier, and our modifier we call our modifier dot size. We want our image to be up to 185.dp, so that you will zoom out a little bit depending on the size of the image, because we won't have time to be setting a specific size for all our images. Okay, so on our alignment, we want our image to align to the center like this. Then here we need that to add that admission, so we want to anchor the image around that brown seam, that overlay that we initially added. So to do that, we call our offset, and in our offset our x is equal to our seam x that we just created above, and we minus 82. I've done some of this calculation before, so that's why you're seeing it. So to minus 82 is so that when it offsets by 82 dp, that means it runs out from the background to this place. So because initially it's hidden behind this background, so when that offset will now push it out to this place so that it will become visible. Okay, we'll see all that in action very soon. So then the next thing is to call our graphic layer. So .graphic layer. So in that graphic layer, we'll have our translation X. We set that to our image offset. Have we created that? Yes. .value, and do that. And we multiply that by the density like this. And our alpha, we set that to our image alpha.value. Then we have our scale X, we set that to our image scale dot value as well. Then we have our scale Y, we also set that to image scale dot value. See how those variables are coming in handy. So that's our image right now. So now let's create the brown section for this card. So this is the end of the async image, and we come down here. So we set our brown section to 50%. Okay, and we also set some internal padding so that the text will be properly aligned in the middle. Okay, you see that now. So we use another box here. So in our box we have our modifier, our famous modifier. So our modifier, so now our modifier, we're going to say fill max height, because we want the brown section to fill the maximum height of its parent. Then our width is going to be our seam x, so that's boundary there. Then we set our background to brown. Then also because we want it to be on top of the async image, so now we assume that the box, the white section, is is we're going to use a Z index. It's going to be 1, then the async image followed by the box. So let's set our Z index here. So Z index, and we assign that to 2F. So we want it to be on top. So now inside our box, let's add a column to style our text. So in our column is going to have its own styling. So here we had our famous modifier and our modifier dot fill max size dot padding. We want some padding. So our start padding is going to be, let's set just a general padding instead of calling them out individually. Let's set that to 16.dp all around. So now then we have our vertical arrangement, and our arrangement is going to be arrangement.center like this. So after that, we're going to have a text. That's our title text. So our title text is going to say title, then color, we set it to text white like this. Then we have our font size. We set our font size to font size dot large, and also we have our font family is still our Oxford variable font. Then we also have our font weight. Here we have our font weight dot bold. Then we have our line height. Let's set that to 35.sp like this. Then max line, let's set that to 2 for now because some of the names are long. Then our overflow case is longer than 2. We set our text overflow dot ellipsis. Okay, so that's our first test, which is the title. Then after the first test, let's add some spacer. And our spacer we call our famous modifier dot height, and we set our height to 6.dp. Okay, so the next thing is let's just duplicate this test and the spacer. So here we're going to have our energy value, and in that energy value, so in this energy value, we're going to have that icon. We're going to have that flame icon, then the energy value like this. So we're going to use a row to make that happen possible for us. So first of all, let me cut out this. I'll cut this out, then I'll set a row here, and in that row we paste our text. Then in that row we'll add some styling, which is our vertical alignment. I want our alignment to be centered vertically. Then our horizontal arrangement, and our arrangement is going to be arrangement.center like this. So now in this test, we're going to first of all have this icon, and in our icon we have, let's set our modifier first. Modifier dot size, we want the size to be 24.dp. Then we also want our painter. We call our painter resource, and we call our resources dot icon dot flame, this one. Then our content description is just going to be our flame icon, and after that let's set the tint to be unspecified so that it doesn't, the color will show. So we'll call our color dot unspecified like this. So that's the icon. So let's add a horizontal spacer. Let's copy this, add that down here, and set this to be width instead, and that width is going to be, let's make it 4. Okay, so that we have our energy value here, and our color is still white, but let's gray that out a little bit. So let's say copy, and we set that to 0.65f, and see how that looks when we launch our app. So the size is going to be extra regular. Then let it be just the ordinary font. So this will be bold, medium, not bold. We don't need all this. Okay, so that's it. Let's leave it to be our Oxford variable font for now. Then now that we've done that, we have our spacer. we have another test outside of this row. Let's copy this, which is going to be our price. So here we call price, and down here our price is going to have the brown yellow color, brown yellow, yes. So, and the size is going to be our regular size. We need that to be bold as well, then bold like this. Okay, so that's the brown section and its test. Okay, so now the last thing we need to do is to add that soft gradient, and that will be on the outer column, I guess, outer box. Yeah, so here let's call this our soft gradient. Okay, so now we have a box, and now in our box we have our famous modifier, and our modifier is going to be dot fill max height, then dot width, and we call the width to be our sim x, then dot offset, we set that to x equal to our sim x dot minus the sim width divided by 2. Okay, so then our background is we're going to use a brush to add a gradient background there. So the brush dot horizontal gradient, and here we're going to pass a list of colors. So here we have our brown dot copy. Let's put that our alpha dot disable, I guess. So this disable is 0.38, so that it's not that so obvious that it covers the image. So the other part of it will now be transparent, or color dot transparent. Okay, so that's it for the background color here. Then this is going to be the topmost layer of this brown section. So let's call our Z index here, and we'll assign this to be 3F. So that's the topmost layer of this of our card. So let's optimize this. Okay, so now we have created that, and we can now use that in our implementation. So now the next thing, let's quickly commit that. So this is going to be main product card like this, commit and push, commit anyways, and push that. So that's it. So the next thing we need to create is our widget, our category chip widget. So, and that's also going to be, what are we not needing here anymore? Let's close this down. So that's going to also be part of our main component. So here we create another file, call it category chip like this. Copy that. That's not supposed to be a class. That's going to be a file. Then let's call our composable like this. So now our category chip is going to have its own parameters as well, which is the title, and it's going to be of type string. And also the icon, because our category chip is also going to have an icon, and that will be an int. Then we have our on click, and that will be an empty lambda. Then we'll pass our units. So we can add our modifier here like that. Okay, all right, optimize that. So now in the body, we're going to create a mutable variable that we'll call pressed, and that pressed by remember, and where we pass our mutable state of, and we set that to false initially. Then let's import our getters and setters. So down here we're going to now call a scale. So we'll create a variable that we'll call a scale by animate as float state. So in this we set our target value, we set that to say if pressed, then 0, we set that to 0.92, else let's give the full scale. So what it means is that if any of this is pressed, that it should kind of shrink, then come back to its original size. So for users appeal. Okay, so but here 0.92f doesn't seem to do much. Let's make it 72, and we'll see how that looks when we use that and see if it's too much. Okay, so because we don't need any unnecessary distraction for our users, because this app is targeted to scale, sales, and every other aspect. So our animation spec is going to be spring animation, so that it will spring in and out. Okay, so let's set the damping ratio. The damping ratio here is going to be our spring dot dampen ratio medium. So we'll set it to medium bouncy like this. Then the stiffness, let's set the stiffness to be low so that it doesn't like squeeze and hold for a very long time. So spring dot stiffness low like this. Okay, so that's it. That's how we want it to scale. Then now that we've created those useful variables, let's now create our box so that we can, as you can see from here, we have this offset of the icon from the main box. So we can do that with a box. All right, so now here we have in our box our famous modifier. So we have our famous modifier, assign that to, and here we're going to add a width, and the width we set that to 140.dp. Then the height of the box is going to be, let's set it to 90.dp. Then we have our graphics layer. Let's set our scale as, we set that to the scale that we've set above, and our scale Y, we assign that to the scale as well. Okay, so now we add our content alignment, and our alignment is going to be dot top center. So that's, we want the icon to be on the top center, so we set that alignment up here. So now here we call our surface, and our surface is going to be styled a bit as well. So we use our famous modifier, and we set that to fill the max width, and also we set the height to 80.dp. For now, I tweaked that before as well. So dot align, and our alignment is going to be alignment of bottom center. Okay, so now we also set that shape. We set the shape, and it's rounded corner shape, and we set that to 12.dp. So after the shape, we have our color, and it's going to be our brown like this. Then we set the tonal elevation, and our tonal elevation, let's set that to just 6.dp. Then we have our shadow elevation, we set that to 6.dp as well. So now that we set our shadow elevation, let's add on click. So on click, we set our press to true so that we'll get that animation effect. Our press is equal to true. Then we call our actual on click like this. So now in that surface, we're going to have another column for our text. Okay, our text and our image. Like here, we have a column here. You see, we have this column that has this icon, then the text. Okay, so now we call a column here, and in that column we have our modifier. I will assign that to modifier dot fill max size, and then we add some padding. We add a top padding for the text, which is, let's set that to like 40.dp. okay, then we have a horizontal alignment, and we set our alignment to center horizontally. Then our vertical arrangement to arrangement dot center as well. So now after that, we can now add our text down here. Have we used text here before? No. Let me copy text here, copy this, come back here, just paste that in here. Then our text is going to say the title, then the color is going to be just white, then the font size is going to be extra medium, then font width is still medium as well. Okay, so now that's it. That's the text. Then outside that column, so outside the entire surface, we're going to add our image, and our image will have our painter resource, and we call our resource icon dot, we will pass our icon res, which is the parameter we created up there. Yeah, just like that. Then our content description is just going to say the title of that category. Then we'll use our modifier dot size, no size, not scale. We set our size to 70.dp for that icon. Also also dot offset. We want to offset it by y, so we set by y vertically upwards, so we'll set that to -30.dp like this. Okay, so then we set our content scale, and we'll set our content scale dot fit. Okay, so that's our image done. Okay, so we want to also release the bounce after a short delay. So to achieve that, let's come out here and use the launched effect and pass our pressed as the key. And here we say if pressed is true, then we should use call our delay and set that to 120 seconds. Then we set our pressed to false like this. Okay, so with that, I think our category chip is good to go. So we might not need this, necessarily use this modifier. Yeah, let's just cut that out. Okay, so now we have our category. Let's optimize this. All right, okay, so we have our category chip. So the next thing we need to do is to start fleshing out our product overview screen, which will bring all these things together and to life. So then we can close this down. So here in our product overview, we can add our new Kotlin file here that we'll call product overview screen. Let me copy that, then our composable and our function, and now we have it all laid out. Okay, so now we start with collecting the states of our product overview, but let's add a parameter here that is going to be on our product click. So we haven't implemented that yet, but we're going to implement that in the next episode, which is to view our product details. Okay, so we're going to implement all this, but let's add that parameter right now. So now we're going to start with creating our variables. So in this our product view model, we first of all create variable to inject our view model, which we'll call view model, and we call our coin inject, and it's going to be our product view model like this. Then first of all, let's start exposing the states of all these functions. So first of all, our hero product, which is the card, which is this card here like this, is going to be called our hero product. So let's call that var hero product by view model dot hero product. Okay, so we have not created that hero product, so let's go to our view model again and create that hero product. So in our view model, we'll first of all create our hero. Let's add that here. We first of all create a private variable. That's where we'll call our new product. So we call that our hero candidate like this, and that's going to be a state flow. So that state flow is going to return a list type of products. Okay, of products like this. So we assign that now to our new product, and we map that to, let's call this our state. So here we're going to now say our state dot get success data or null, then dot sorted by descending. So it dot created that, so that will sort it by the time it was created, so that we can take the latest. So here we take only 3 items, so we take only 3 new items. We can make it 5 later, but for now, or entirely, if nothing is returned, we return an empty list like this. Then we can now just copy this our state in, instead of repeating ourselves many times, paste that. Then we're going to change this to be the initial value will be an empty list like this. Okay, so that's it. So now let us create the list for the new product. Is going to be rotated within those 3 items that is going to be returned. So now let's make sure that the first item that is returned is the first item on the array. So now we're going to set another private var that we'll call our hero index. So this hero index is going to be a mutable state flow, and we pass 0 like this. So now that we have our index, we can now create a variable that we call our hero product, and that is going to be another state flow, and it's going to be a nullable product type like this. So we assign that now to we combine that and we call our hero candidate, our hero candidate, and I will pass our hero candidate as the flow and transform with the index. So now this is going to return this, let's call this a list and index like this. Okay, so inside here we'll call our list dot get or null like this, then we pass our index like this. So we can also pass that dot state in here, but our initial value now is going to be null. Okay, so that's our hero product done. So now that we've created our hero product, we can go to our product overview screen and call that here like this. So now that we've been able to access them dot collect our state, so now we import the set and the get value. So after that, we can also now create a variable to collect the state of our popular products, and by ViewModel dot popular products dot collect our state. So for the rest, I will just copy this and duplicate it. So now we have our discounted products, and here we call discounted products. Here we first of all we have our category products, and here we call our category products here. Then lastly we add our selected category. I guess we've created that in our view model as well. Selected category like this. Okay, so these are the states. So now that we've exposed our state in this form, this entire form want it to be scrollable. Both the main card, the category, and every item here want it to be scrollable so that they can access other hidden items here. Okay, so now what we do now is to use a lazy column to call that in to make it scrollable. So now we have in that lazy column, we're going to style it. So we use our famous modifier and we'll set that to modifier dot, we want it to fill the max size of its parent. So then we set our padding and we set some horizontal padding. We set that to 12.dp. Then also let's import dp quickly, import dp. Then we now set some content padding and we call our padding values, and we pass our bottom padding for the bottom to be 16.dp. Then also we can set some vertical arrangements, and we set arrangement to space by, let's change this to spaced by 12dp for the items. So now our lazy column is set. So first of all we will start adding our items. So we add our first item, which is our main product card, but we want some animation. Since we're going to be rotating the 3 items on this section, let's just add a title here to call this main product card like this. So under here we call our item, and in our item we call animated content for that initial animation for the swaps. So here we set our hero product dot id like this. Then we set our transition spec as well. Transition spec, we set that to fade in. So we set the twin, we set that to like 500 milliseconds. Then outside of that we say together with fade out, and we set our twin, we set that one to 500 as well. So now that we've created our animated spec, we're going to now in the body, let's use an unnamed lambda here, and down here we're going to set hero products dot let, and let's call this product. Okay, then here we call our main product card, and in our main product card our title is going to be product dot title, and our energy value is going to be product. We call product dot energy value like this, or we return 0, and we don't forget our unit, which is the kilocal. Then here we have price, and our price is set to, we have dot price, product dot price. So before we do that, let's format that a little bit. So here we're going to add our pound sign, then we set that to 2 significant figures dot 2f. Okay, so here we can now call dot format. So here we call dot format, and then inside here we call our product dot price and close that off with our curly braces, which we've not added initially and we're supposed to add here. Okay, everything is fine now. Then we have our image URL, and here is going to our product image. Then finally we have our post, but we've not created post here. So now let's go back to our view model and create our post, and so that we can collect that state. So for our hero post, that is when a category is selected. Let's add that up here. So we create another variable that we call our hero post, and our hero post is going to be selected category dot map. So here is going to be IT not equal to null. Then here we can pass our state in again, copy that, paste that here. Then here we're going to return true, not empty list. All right, for our initial value. So that's our hero post. So now to collect this state the right way, we need to add an init function down here, because Jetpack Compose and Kotlin is top down. So here we add an init block, and here we say ViewModel scope dot launch, and here we combine the pause, the hero candidate, which is the idle state when the animation is on, and our hero pause. Then here we pass a list, because we pass a list from our hero candidate, then post as well, and that will be list to pause. So once the category is selected, we can now pass it from the list, which is the animated state, to the pause state. Okay, so down here we say dot collect latest, and here we're going to pass those to the list and the pause as well. So now we can now send a condition to say if post or list dot size is less than or equal to 1, we return collect latest. So what this actually is doing is, if it's the post condition or the list is less than 1, that means it's on the initial state, we should collect the latest. So what it means is, once we click on a category, we should return the first item on the list, which is the one of the index 0, which is the latest item on our list. So that's the item that will be paused, not like the item on display at that point in time. Okay, so that's what this function is about. So then while is active and is not hero pause, so the animation is on at this point, dot value, we should now set a 5 seconds delay, and then we call our hero index dot value, and we pass that to our hero index dot value plus 1. So we want our animation rotation to continue modulo list dot size. We want it to keep adding on until the last bit element on the list. Okay, so import list. So first of all, we need to set our hero index. That's why we're having that error. We need to initialize the hero index dot value to 0. So now I guess we should be good to go, and this should be part of this map collect latest. So that's why that error. So it's fine now. So now that we've set our init block, we can confidently collect that state, read the state of our hero post. So let's go back again to our product overview screen, and now let's collect that state and say hero post by view model dot hero post dot collect a state like this. So we can now pass hero post here, and that's it. So now that we have created our post, we can now go back to, we have passed our post here, then that should be our first item. So in case, always in case, if nothing is returned, maybe we don't have a product that says is new, we should return our loading card so that it won't just be a blank screen. So modifier dot view max size. Okay, so that's the first item, which is our hero card or main product card, as we've named it here. So the next thing now is our category row, and that should be outside this item. So in our category row, we have let's give that a name, a title here, category row. Okay, so now we have a title. Let's look at this. We have a title here, we have a title title here, then the category, you have another title here. So that means we're going to use this title in 3 places. So there's no point using text each of the time. So let's create an external, a private composable here. So at composable private font, we'll call it section header. So this section header is taking no parameter. Then in the body, we just add this test, and this test here we have, it's going to have a parameter which is the title of the test actually, because we're going to change that across every place we're using it. So now we use a modifier to style this test a little bit. Modifier dot fill max width dot alpha, we need it to be grayed out a little bit, alpha dot how. Then we now set the text to be the title, and now we have a font size, and our font size is going to be font size dot extra. We need to import that font size class object, extra regular, and our color is going to be our text primary, which is black. Then text align, we want our text to text align dot center. We want our text to align in the center like this. So now we can just come up here, optimize this. We can just come where we need it in our row. So for our row section here, we can just call item and we pass the content, which is, we can just pass what am I doing here? Make that a single line. Our section header on the title, we just set that to call, say, our menu like this. Why is it complaining? You say value of parameter title is always our menu. Okay, let's leave that for now. So we now add other elements, which is now our lazy row, which is going to have the category chip that we created earlier. So we call item, and in that item we call our lazy row, not column. Okay, so this lazy row is going to have a horizontal arrangement, and it's going to be arrangement dot space by, let's set that to the 12 dp. And our content padding, we want to set the padding values, and we set that to another horizontal, and we set that to 4.dp for now. So now in the body we call items, which is a list of items, and here we pass our product category, and it's good dot entries to collect the entries of the category. Then we can call this category. So now we can now call our category chip here, and in our category chip we have the title, and we set that category dot title. Then we set our icon res, and we set that to category dot icon for each particular category. Then on click, we should now call our ViewModel dot selected category. Then we pass our category like this. Okay, so that's our second item, which is our category chip. So now to determine what follows next, which is this popular and discounted, we now use a condition to set when on idle we display the popular and discounted, while when one particular category is selected, we should display the items from that category. Okay, so now what we have here is going to be, this is end of the item, and we come down here and say if selected category is not null. So now what we do is we call our section header. We use an item again. So here we'll copy this, paste that here, but our title is going to be selected category dot title like this. So then after that we can now display the items of that category. So we use item again after that, and we say item, and now we're going to, in that item we're going to call our category product dot display result, which we have not created that flow yet. So let's go back again to our view model and create that flow and collect the flow. So here what we'll do is in our selected category we say dot flat map playtest, and here we can call that category, and in that we say if category is equal to null, then that means it's on our idle state. So we collect the flow of, then here we pass our request state dot idle like this. Then else, that means a category has been selected. We say product repository, which is this one, dot read products by category. Then we pass our category dot title like this. So now we have to opt into this experimental coroutine API like this, and that's happy. So when we go back to our product category, we can now call our display results like this. Then in our display result, we're going to pass on loading and on error and on success like this. Okay, so let's flesh that out. So on loading, we have our loading card again, and we use our famous modifier to style our loading card, modifier dot fill max size like that. That's all. So on error, we use our info card, and our info card, let's name our error message to return the actual message from that flow. So now we have that here. So now we call our image is going to be resources dot icon dot dog like this. So we need to import resources, but we can't do that. We don't need this modifier. So here we have, let's say oops like this. Then down here we pass message like this. So we can now import our resources. That's the one. So now that's our error card. Then on success, let's call this, because this is going to return a list of items if successful. So let's call this a list. So now down here we say we create a variable that we call products, and we assign that to our list of products that is going to be returned. But we want to distinct by, we want to set it to id.id, which is the ID of every product, dot sorted by descending, and we assign that to it.created as, because that's how we want to sort the items. Then under that we can now say if product dot is empty, that means no product was returned, so that category is empty, so we should return our info card. So let's copy this and paste this here. So here we say sorry, nothing here, and the message here is going to say no product found in this category, in case we've not added any product in that particular category. Okay, then else we say we use a column to display the returned product. That means something was returned. So that is going to be, let's just say vertical arrangement, and arrangement dot spaced by, we want to space all the category chip by 12 dp like that. So down here we now call our products dot for each item. We can now call this singular product. Then we say product, we assign that to product. Then on click, we assign that to on product click like this. So first of all, this should be inside our, we'll call our product card here, pardon me. So cut this out and call the product card, then pass those parameters like that. Okay, so now this is our category. This is what our category is going to show. So but else, if our selected category is null, actually that means we have not selected any category, then we say else, we say I think we can just copy, this to actually copy that and paste it again. So now let's open them up. So here this is going to say popular product, and this is going to say discounted products. Okay, so now in the body here we're going to call our popular products, and here we say no popular products found. So let's delete that, no popular products found, and yeah, every other thing should be fine. Then here we call our discounted products, and here it will say no discounted products found. Okay, so with that, I think we can confidently say that our product overview screen is definitely going to show something. But what other way to find out than to give our app a spin? So moment of truth. So as we can see, our app is showing, but our animation is not there yet. It's coming up. Our animation is actually showing. The swap is happening. Yeah, but our slide animation is not there yet. So let's filter this. Okay, nothing here. Okay, our filter is working, as my wife taught me. Then we keep going. So now we implement strawberry. I spelled that wrong. It's ugly. All right, let me fix that before we continue. Where are you? Up here. Edit that strawberry. I guess that's the correct one. Okay, let's see. Okay, that looks neater. All right. So now the next thing we need to do is to finalize our animation. I guess we're done with our view model now. So our animation mainly is in our category card. So I'll close this down and let's go. Yeah, so we are in the right place, our product card. So to make this animation work, our slide animation, let's use a launched effect here. And our launched effect, we say launched effect, we set our target to post as the key and the image URL. That's what we are targeting, image URL like this. So in the body, we now say if post, then we should snap back to the original sizes and the offset. So offset, we set that snap to -25 towards the right. Then we set our image alpha dot snap to, we set that to 1F. Then we set our image scale dot snap to, we set that to 1F. Then if not, then let's return our launched effect. So then outside of that, we now say that while true, that means it's not paused, our animation is on. We call our coroutine scope, and in our coroutine scope we'll call .launch. Then we call our image offset .animate to, and we set our target value to be, let's set it again to be -25F, because we want that to be in the middle, and see if that works. Sometimes you have to tweak this a couple of times to get it in the right position as you want it. So if yours doesn't work, just keep tweaking this target value, it will fit in. So then easing, we set the easing to fast out, slow in easing, first one. So now after that, let's call another launch, and in this launch we call our image alpha dot animate to, and we set that to 1F, and we set our animation spec to twin, we set that to 350. Okay, so then after that, let's create a little bounce effect when it slides out. We want to create a little bounce effect, then that will be outside this while. Then we'll call our image scale dot snap to, we set that to 1.05F, just tiny bit, not too much. Then image scale dot animate to, we set our target value on this one to be 1F, the full size. Then we set our animation spec to spring. We'll see this in action shortly. Then our damping ratio, we set that to spring dot damping ratio medium bouncy like this. And also our stiffness, we want to set it to low so that it's not too stiff. It will be fluid, stiffness low like that. So now outside of that, we can now call delay, not density, and we set that to 5 seconds delay. Why is this complaining? Okay, so sorry, this is supposed to be part of the coroutine scope cut, that's why it's not reachable. Okay, see, that's fine, that's happy now. So now we set the offset to reset. So we set our image scale dot snap to, we set that to 0.09 or 98F, which is the initial value. Then we set our image offset dot snap to, set that to 90F. Then our image alpha, we set that dot snap to, we set that to 0.6F, 60%. So now I guess our animation should be able to work basically. But let's test that out and see if we have some tweak to do to make it nice and clean as we want it to be. All right, moment of truth. Okay, you see that sweeping animation sliding, yeah, and that's what's it called again? The scale, that little bounce effect. It bounces in and out and in. I mean, you see. Okay, so now we and when we click on a particular category, because I added these pictures, these new pictures that has clear background, so that our effect will be nice and clean. So you need to download some of this image in the internet, or if you already have some of them, just remove the background. It will still work very well. So now if we select a product, the filters and our animation is paused to the latest products. Like I told you before, if you check, the strawberry is our latest product. So no matter what element is here, look, if it changes now to drinks, if we pause, which is clicking the category, it goes back to the strawberry, which is our latest new product. Okay, so I guess that's a very good animation effect. So now you see, if we click the back button to return this to idle, it closes the app, which is the next thing we need to implement. If you check in our view model, we have this function clear category that we've not used. So if we go back to our product overview screen here, if we go back to our product overview screen, we can call our back handler in order to make that work. So our back handler, and in our back handler we call our view model dot clear category like this. Then here we need to add enabled, and we set the enabled to true like this. So the enable is not going to be true automatic all the time. So we say selected category is not equal to null. So our back handler is when selected category is not equal to null, that means a category have been selected. So when we click the back button, it doesn't close the app like we just saw initially. Like now, if we select a category and we click this, closes the app. Okay, if we don't select a category and we close, it closes the app. So we don't want that. We just want to pop the back stack, which is to return to the original idle state. So now if we relaunch our app with this line of code added here, we'll know that will not happen again. So now the moment of truth, we select, we click back, you see now it doesn't close our app anymore. So now we can see our products, our animation is working, and that's the end of our episode 6, guys. Our product overview screen is live. Our app is making some sense now. Our users can see products with our animations for sales, and also to advertise our latest product, which is the newest product I want to highlight here. Okay, so now the next thing is now to make these items clickable for them to see the details of the product, and from there they can now add it to their cart as they wish and also check out. So that's what we'll be looking into in our next episode. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, as YouTube told me that about 70% of people who see this video have not subscribed, and it doesn't help us and help other people who want to learn like you or who are interested in this kind of content. Please help us do that with just a few minutes of your time, and also post a random comment. Tell me what you think. If you think there are things we are doing we can do better, then that's still fine. And also like and hit that notification bell so that once the next episode is out, you'll be the first to know. Okay, so I wish you all Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on the next one in the new year.